Hi, we're back this week.
Yes, we're back.
I'm Jess of Vintage Vibe Botanicals.
I'm Donna. I did not interrupt this time, and I have a Earth and Alchemy.
And together we are Twisted
Twisted
Hazel
Hazel
Coven.
Coven.
So today we are talking about the summer solstice, and this one's extra special this year because it also falls on the full moon. So we thought it'd be a good opportunity to just kind of celebrate with everybody, right?
Yeah. I think it's pretty cool. It's a pretty powerful combination. So
Yes.
And I didn't get to celebrate solstice yesterday, so I'm going to do both tonight.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Yeah.
And we were talking about today, we kind of go over summer solstice, but then also show you, Donna and I practice very differently too, and we thought we would each show you the basics of ritual that we would do to honor the full moon and the solstice. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So summer solstice. Let's get into that rule.
Okay. So summer solstice is when the sun is at its highest point. It is the longest day and shortest night of the year, and then our days actually it's weird. It's just kind of like by a second or two they start getting shorter and shorter each day, but it seems like way more than a second. But it really does.
I think it's a couple minutes, isn't it?
I feel like it's like
less than a minute.
Seconds. Yeah, it's not very long.
No.
But you can definitely feel it. I can at least. So and what we're doing there, when I do any kind of solstice thing, I kind of just combine it with more of a thing of balance for me.
Yeah.
When I do it, it's more of a balance ritual, something because of that offset balance there.
Yeah.
I kind of do things that, like, if I feel unbalanced about something, if I feel, and I don't mean like mentally unbalanced, I mean like if I feel like emotionally unbalanced, something's not lining up in my life, things are not corresponding, that kind of thing. That's when I try to start working them through. And then, like, you can set a goal at that point, and this is not what you have to do, but I like then setting a goal of something so that then by the equinox, then we are kind of coming back into balance.
Right, and the equinox would fall in the fall, so then you have a 3-month, 90-day period, which is a really good goal-setting time.
Yes.
You can accomplish something quite large in a 90-day period.
Yes,
So.
and I think everybody can relate to that and do that. But any, like, there's any kind of I mean, what is your normal solstice?
So I was born on the winter solstice.
Yeah.
So like I don't even really like winter that much, if I'm honest. I do like it as a season of rest, but I get really bored with winter. But I do a little bit more on my actual birthday. But like yesterday, I spent the day in my garden all day. It was hotter than Satan's butthole outside.
Yes.
Was out there all day. I watered my garden barefoot. That took like half an hour, so I felt like I was really grounding myself yesterday by being out there and really getting kind of in the dirt. I don't know, that was my honoring, was like I played in my garden all day yesterday.
And that's actually tonight, that's where I want to be, is in my garden area, and just kind of, we've got a whole thing going on where I'm kind of redoing all of that, and I'm kind of just trying to make it more of a sacred place. And I mean, it always has been, but more of an intentionally sacred place. So that's where I kind of want to be tonight. So
and when
we've got my copper cauldron out there ready to go. And
oh, that'll be great.
I know.
When we got exhausted last night, then we just sat under the gazebo that is built in the center of our garden. Our chickens are on one side, the gazebo, and I still haven't like revealed that on social media because we have one little piece of roof that needs finishing.
But we filmed out there, and our intention was to film out there today. But again, hotter than Satan's butthole, as she says. Yes. Yeah. So we decided to be inside where we don't melt.
No, so. we had really wanted to do outside today, but honestly, it's close to 100 degrees and it's stagnant, and it's
awful.
It's
awful.
Not particularly healthy to be outside right now at the hottest part of the day. So anyway, we sat out there in the gazebo last night, had dinner out there, listened to the chickens, and it just felt it is very spiritual. It is becoming a sacred place for us. Everything that is about the vibes that we want to live our life is out in that little garden.
Yes.
So it's our home.
And when I got here today, both of the kids were out there. I don't know what Hazel was doing in the gazebo, but she was in there, and Grayson was nearby swinging, and it's kind of perfect. So everybody in your family's enjoying it.
It is, and we spent so much time out there yesterday as a family. So that was my like informal, and because I've been on my own doing this for so long until basically you found me, and then we've joined you. Like I don't have formal rituals.
But we are talking about doing a moon circle at the very least, and that can lead to some formal things, and I think that will be very interesting. For me,
it was just very informal. Like it was just a play in my garden, honor sort of thing.
Get your feet in.
And I think that's one of the big symbols of the summer solstice, is that it is like the very beginning of what you would consider the harvest season.
Yes.
Like everything that you've planned all winter is now coming into fruition.
Yes.
So that's like a big
Exactly. And growth rituals are actually really good for solstice as well.
Yeah.
I mean, and don't, you can actually just sit out there and enjoy it. But I tend to, like, on the equinoxes and solstices, do something semi-formal.
Yeah.
Usually by myself, but again, practicing by myself for so long. But and it doesn't have to be with everybody. It is so much more powerful. So I'm really looking forward to doing
something a little
the
more
moon
formal.
circle and trying, maybe formalizing that a little bit. I think that'll be cool.
Yeah. So is there any like historical stuff that we should point out here? I mean, I guess a lot of ancient cultures have always honored.
Well, I think every culture, yeah. I mean, and we've talked about that before. Most of, all of the Sabbats actually usually revolve around the phases and cycles of the sun and the moon and our food and our growth of food. So, every one of them kind of relates to that, as does.
Right, it's like a very intuitive thing.
Yes.
Like how,
Yes, and it's back then we didn't have the internet. We didn't have things to track. We don't have a calendar in our kitchen like I do. This is full moon. So people looked out for those things. They looked out for the new moon, for the cycles. We looked out for the solstices. We looked out for the equinoxes to help us with our growing cycles and things. So,
and so it's something that doesn't matter what religion or culture or country or whatever. It is something that humans have been doing for countless.
Yeah,
countless
and it actually, and when we're talking about the length of the days, you're talking about the sun, and just about every culture and every spiritual belief system has usually a sun god or goddess, and I would say that probably about 85% of them are sun goddesses.
Yeah, I think of
goddess.
like all the ancient Aztec and Mayan stuff was very much so revolved around the sun and the harvesting.
Yeah.
And all of that.
All of them. I mean, just about every culture has
any of those ancient civilizations too. And there probably were people in, I would assume, in tribes and things like that their job, like as part of their contribution to the tribe, was like, I'm going to track the sun and the moon.
There were. Yes, there were people that did that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Looking out for the entire tribe and their food sources.
Right. It is very important. When you don't have a giant or a Safeway that you can go to, you need to be tracking all these things and keeping track of them for
because you didn't have enough food harvested and put away for the winter or preserved in some sort of way. You're not gonna live. You're not gonna make it through another season.
No,
so.
I think the solstice is really like just one of those. Winter can be really hard on people emotionally. It's so dark and the winter seems so long. The summer, you just feel like you're just almost rejuvenated and reborn a bit, and like everything that you've kind of survived is now. I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's been really hard for like the winter months, and then you're here and like it's the benefits of reaping what you've sowed, I guess.
Well, and I think the solstice also, and I'm not a fan of winter myself, but I also know that it has its benefits and definitely has its spiritual benefits. But when you're starting with so you're starting right now and you're celebrating the solstice, it kind of goes in a cycle, so that by the time you get through the Sabbats leading up to
the season of rest, or
by like the winter solstice in the season of rest, you've kind of like it helps you to track what you've done, your accomplishments, and your connection to the earth and your food sources and things. So I think it kind of eases, for me at least, it kind of eases that winter, kind of eases into winter, and makes you feel accomplished at that point. I've done this, and now it's a season of rest and reflection and being sort of hibernating inside.
Yeah, and I don't think that us as humans, like we've talked about this before too, like the American culture always glorifies this like go, 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 go. Well, summer, the days are longer, we're more active, we're outside more, there's more to do, and you're really motivated, but you can't sustain that for the long term without your season of rest in the winter. So now, this is a great time of year to just stay up late. Well, not that we don't do that.
Yeah, seriously.
But just,
we are night people.
We are night people.
We are night
but,
people.
You get this, like, this is your season to go out and do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. To be more active, and then we do have our season of rest.
Right.
And I just think it helps to track that and kind of, like I said, build up to that, and then see your accomplishments and realize it's a time for rest.
Absolutely. So do you want to go through, like, we decided we wanted to show you a basic example. Obviously, this isn't a true ritual because both of us would not really record.
No.
If
you're recording a practice, and I think probably I would hope that most people that are recording practices or rituals and things are just doing it not when they're doing their actual ritual, because
For
you need to focus.
purposes. Yeah,
you need to focus. You need to focus your energy, your intention, and your will, and you can't.
It's
you
hard
just can't
to do that if you're focusing on being filmed too.
Exactly.
So we want to show you this, but this isn't like the actual.
This
ritual.
is not an actual. Yes. So an actual. What we're doing here is just kind of showing you one of our, and rituals are very tailored to everybody's own practice. So what I'm doing here, what Jess is doing, you can take bits and pieces of those if and we're just trying to help you. If you're a newbie and you want to start doing rituals, or if you're feeling called to do them, because they can enhance your practice, they can enhance your power, they can enhance your energy, and it's something that I highly recommend. You don't have to, but if you're being called to do that, you can kind of take bits and pieces of these, whatever resonates with you, and do them. You can, if there's something else that you want to add to it, change, whatever, definitely do that. We just kind of wanted to show you some of the elements of some basic rituals.
And rituals and spells are intertwined, but they are not the same thing. So this is not like spell casting. This is more just a manifestation tool.
Right.
So
exactly.
I guess spells are too, but okay.
Anyway. And that's kind of what I decided, and I do a lot of, you do a lot of fire. You do.
My husband's always like, stop trying to burn the house down.
Burning? And while I do love to use candles in my rituals and spells, I need to look into that more, because I do have a fear of fire, and I do know where some of it comes from. So, but I do use candles in there. But I do a lot with water. You do a lot more with fire.
Yeah, my front porch is covered in, I have like 12 or 15 antique oil lamps that I put citronella oil in, and then I have these big flowy curtains. I'm out there and I'm like totally zoned out. My husband's out there, he's like batting the curtains away, and he's are you trying to burn our house?
Yes. No, I would have to sleep out there then and make sure that, nothing's still burning, right?
It's a mess out there.
It's terrible. But each one, has their own purpose, and you may find that they switch around too. So like you may like fire now, and I've been, really drawn to water for probably the last 3 years now. And it's not to say I don't utilize other things, but water is my big thing. It's really a big thing for me. And I think also water does a lot of healing, and with my leg being injured and illness, it was just, water is cleansing and purifying, and water's very cool. Water can take so many forms. Water takes the form of whatever you put it in. Water can be solid. Water can be gas. Water can be liquid. I mean, and so you've got all of those things, which is kind of magical in itself.
I think that water gets associated as being a gentler element, which it can be. Like if the way that you're going to use it today, it's quite a gentle process. Fire, the way that I'm going to use it, it's definitely more destructive. So like in your rituals, water is a more gentle element. However, naturally, water is not necessarily a gentle element.
No, and I think
the ocean and things like that, like it
can be destructive as well.
Very destructive and very powerful and very
flooding, things like that. And water, water can become stagnant, and water can cleanse itself. Picture the stream that's like icky and gross and stagnant, and then somebody unblocks what's not flowing, and it starts to flow, and within a couple of weeks, it is clear again because it's cleansing itself. So, but I feel like for me.
With earth.
Yes,
the earth elemental in there.
Yes, the rocks and the stones and things that are filtering it. But do you feel like that the fire has a purpose in your life right now? Because I feel like with everything that's gone on in my life the last couple of years, there is a purpose that I am so drawn to water, because it wasn't always that way. But I feel like it has a purpose, and I've needed that.
I don't think for me it's a new thing. Like even as a child, like campfires were like my favorite thing. They've always been sort of like this just communal thing of you're with some of your favorite people and you have a campfire and you're sitting around it and you're honoring each other and you're thinking about summer. So like for me, I think fire has always been a background element, and now I just get to use it, and it works for me. I like it, and I am a fire sign in every way possible, so I do feel like that.
So, and that could be your primary element, and then at some point it may change and you may work, but maybe you'll always filter back to fire. Maybe. Elements,
but then you have you have to use water with fire as well.
Yes, you do. Yes, so, and honestly, when I do use a candle in my spells or rituals or things, a lot of times with this one especially, I will actually go ahead and put it out in the water.
You will.
So yeah, I will.
Because there's a lot of discrepancy. I mean, but it all comes back down to there's no wrong way to be a witch. No. But you see a lot of people that argue that point, not using water to combat fire, but they say use your fingers to do it.
Or a snuffer.
Yeah.
not blowing on it. I have blown on candles a million times.
Honestly, it's just a very personal preference, and maybe in that moment that feels right, and that's what you should go with.
Exactly.
So,
always.
I've definitely done all the no-nos, but I really don't think there is a no-no. It's really just what feels right in that moment.
Exactly. I totally, wholeheartedly believe that.
Plus, I'm like a little bitch, and I get real scared about just like, oh no, I don't want to do that.
No, I'm not doing that this time.
No, I'm so scared.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Okay. All right. So tell me what you're gonna do.
So
Do you want me to hold that?
This one, I'm just gonna chuck it over here. I think, unless you want to hold it, whatever. I think it's good.
Hey, can I borrow a little bit of your water? I realized I don't have any for my own.
Yeah, I think you should. I'm not going to use it all, okay? So
yeah, because we are in my dining room playing with fire, and my husband, he's going to.
And you've got the.
I have a lot of things.
Yeah, I got it too. Did I ever tell you the story about when I did set our kitchen on fire doing that?
No.
Okay, remind me.
Don't tell me that before I'm not ready to do this on my dining room table.
Oh, it was terrible. It was terrible. And I'm, at the time I was really incredibly afraid of fire. Now I'm only a little bit afraid of fire. But so this is a ritual that.
Oh,
I know.
Little feather.
I know.
Head over here.
So this is a water ritual that I do, and this one is for a manifestation of abundance, particularly money and finances. So I figure everybody can kind of relate to that a little bit. There's lots of different water rituals, but this one I like to do for that. And I usually try to do this one like once a month. So, and I do different things at the end of it. So this is a chalice that I keep on, which is also the symbol of the goddess. So you always want to have something, the goddess symbol, and then you can have the water, and you can have a symbol of all of the elements here. So you can use any kind of water you want. If you need to use tap water, whatever. If you want to use your moon water, a lot of times I will use my moon water.
I gotta put some out tonight. Don't let me forget. I forgot last night.
Okay, I won't. I'll text
I got
you
it ready.
I'll text you.
It's still in the fridge.
And you can also, I love to use creek water and rainwater too, depending on what I'm doing. So rainwater and storms and things like that, I like those for a little more chaotic stuff.
And I don't know how you feel about that too, but if like you wanted to save that for another time, you could add a little bit of like grain alcohol or rubbing alcohol.
And that is a very good point. Yes.
So that if you're not going to use it right now, then it will save for a bit if you add something in it.
Exactly. So you can add a little bit of that, and then
witch
you can
hazel
also,
I think does it too.
Yes, witch hazel will. I mean, if you're not drinking it or anything, if you're not drinking it,
I would not advise drinking.
And even like
Creek water anyway.
No. So if you're not going to drink the water, and some people do, and I have, and sometimes moon water and things like that. But yes, do not use creek water because nobody needs intestinal parasites. That's not cool. That is never a good plan.
No.
But also if you're going to use like creek water or something that you've collected, I feel like it kind of like, so if I collected it a month ago, I kind of feel like it's lost a little bit of its power by sitting there.
Sure.
So if I bring it home and it's even going to be a couple of days or something, I will actually kind of put that in like my laundry room where it's dark if we're not in there, and kind of keep it sitting on a shelf or something, and then you can add something to it if you need to, but I usually try to use those things like within a couple of, even rainwater I try to use that pretty fast. So I mean
that will go funky if you don't.
It will and I just feel like it loses its power at that point. So so water in the chalice. With this one I also use mint. This is mint from my garden. I did not go out and get fresh, but this is dried. I'll just go ahead and just sprinkle a little bit of mint in there. You can also sprinkle it around. You can, sometimes I'll actually, kind of crumble these up a little more because I do different things. So I do different things with it. And I use a bay leaf. Both of these things are good for manifesting, like I said, money and abundance. A little bit of lemon. You can use fresh lemon. If I have fresh lemons, I will. I did not bring those, so I just figured it was easier to use oil. This is pure therapeutic level essential oil. That's lemon. Cinnamon. I like to take the cinnamon, and you can do lots of things with the cinnamon. You can actually add it to the water, and sometimes I'll do both. Doesn't take much. I'm going to add a little bit there. I'm going to mess up your table a little bit. And you can do this around whatever your vessel is. You can do it in a in a pattern. You can do it in whatever way feels right. So if right now, just to keep it easy, and I'm putting it in a triangle here, and you can do these in the shapes of the elements of the alchemy symbols. So right now, so a circle is your spirit. And then we have our earth, and then we have our fire. And those are just two that kind of, and so I've got those along with my element of water here. And they just kind of help too, especially earth helps in manifestation. So if you're going to try to have a symbol, if you're doing some kind of manifestation of earth element, it can be dirt from your garden, it can be whatever, it can be the alchemic symbol, whatever. And then I've got a piece of pyrite. So I'll take my pyrite.
Stones.
I know, it's really good and it's really good. Pyrite and citrine. Citrine's another one that's really good for manifestation, especially of money and abundance for financial purposes, that kind of thing. Just watch your, help me. What did I just say?
I don't know. Money, citrine, pyrite.
Citrine, thank you. Citrine, just watch your citrine, because citrine is not always real citrine. When you get it, it could be heat treated quartz, and you want real actual citrine. So you can edit out that little spot there.
That's right.
Yeah, I know. So then at this point, I would usually do my normal, intention. And sometimes I do this outside, sometimes I do this inside. If you wanted to do a candle with this, the candle would usually be green or white, either one. White can pretty much be used for anything. Green is usually used, green stones, any of those. You can also, instead of pyrite or in addition to pyrite and citrine, you can add any kind of green stone. Aventurine is really good for things like that. Any kind of green stone would be good. And then I set my intention, and I will go ahead and, like I said, this is more of a private thing, and you just set your intention into it, your will, and sit with it for a while. You can do you can do like a chant, you can do a prayer, you can do whatever works for you, you can do. And then when I'm done, I will take the water. And sometimes in my spells and rituals, a lot of times I will return things outside. This one, when I do this one for financial reasons, I will either take this and take it out on the porch in front of our main door and sprinkle the water there. Mm-hmm. I usually keep a little bit to actually use like for a couple of days afterwards for different things. And you can also take it and like wash your door with it. Yeah. You'll want to use a bigger vessel for that, so you have it. And really all you need to do is just keep everything in there and just take it, and you can like put it in something that you can put just a nice cotton cloth or something.
What do you use to apply that with? Because I've seen it done many ways.
I'm pretty certain you could probably use a paper towel or something. I just usually like to use.
I was thinking even like a vintage paintbrush.
Yes, I've never even done a paintbrush, but I like that. I like that better. I've usually just done like a cotton cloth, like a cheesecloth or something too. But you can do anything, or not muslin, I'm sorry. But you can do anything you wanted. Again, you can tweak all this up. Other water rituals.
Again, it comes back to what feels right.
Exactly, right? Exactly. And like I said, other water rituals, I'll take it outside and pour it out under the trees or whatever. There's water rituals that you can do that are cleansing for yourself. And I will actually take the water at that point, take it in the shower with me. And if it's like a cleansing thing for me, if I'm feeling icky or whatever, and I don't mean like icky dirty, I mean like icky spiritually, I'll take it in the shower and just kind of, pour it over my head when I wash my hair, rinse everything off. And you're also kind of having intention in there. And when you're drawn to water, I mean, water is like a conduit for me. So I have a lot of little spiritual epiphanies in the shower. So other people have other kinds of things going on in the shower. Me, it's like it's a spiritual thing. So lots of things you can do with what's left over after your ritual.
Yep.
So, yeah,
I like it.
So that's my deal.
Very nice.
That's that one.
I like it.
You like that?
I do.
I do too. I love that.
I can easily adapt that.
Yeah.
When I stop burning everything.
That's okay. That's totally okay. Totally okay.
Okay, so
let's see you burn some shit.
Yeah, so me, like I said before, I've been on my own a lot. So I have just sort of, this is not a formal thing. This is just me coming up with my own thing here. So let's get this briquette going. I have these, I try not to use just a lighter. Not to say that I haven't in the past in a pinch, but I do try to have like ritual matches.
I do too.
It just feels more intentional.
It does.
So I use
these, and intent is huge.
It is. I use these briquettes a lot because they're long burning, and you light it once and it's just kind of like, you can start seeing it spread, which I don't think you're going to see on the camera here, but it starts to get sparks and stuff. So put that down in your fireproof vessel with all your burnable things. Mm-hmm. Earlier this week, I picked several stalks of lavender, and I dried the buds, and I had the stems. So I wanted to, instead of just composting the stems, I thought they would work. Mm-hmm. So lavender is one of my favorite herbs to work with. So I'm gonna stick that on top of my little briquette.
And there it goes, and you can start to smell it right away. I even love the smell of the briquettes.
I don't mind it. To me, it's just all very intentional. So I don't know. So okay, so we're gonna get that going in here. And try not to light my house on fire. Okay, I would at this point, to get myself centered, I would probably do a reading so that I kind of was feeling just in
like
the mind for it. So the Crow
One of
Tarot
our
is
favorite.
ironically both of our favorite bonded deck. We each have our own, and we bought them from the same store
Yes,
a day
we did.
apart
A
and
day
didn't
apart.
even know it.
Yep.
So we both were like, "Hey, did you ever see this?" She's like, "I bought this yesterday." I was like, "I bought it."
That was about the time we started realizing we
Yeah.
had some kind of
It was
weird,
like, oh, that's
weird
really
connection
strange.
going on. Yeah.
So we both have this deck. The artwork is just incredible.
Beautiful.
So if you've not seen Crow Tarot, I highly suggest it. So at that point, I would have this kind of like smoldering, doing its thing. It's not smoldering yet, but it's going to be fine. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I do my reading, got my stuff burning, I'm feeling grounded. I would make usually some sort of little altar on the table using some stones that I'm feeling drawn to, so that I've got my little, like a mini altar for my ritual going.
Yep.
That
is almost what, I think your rituals, it is sort of a mini altar,
Yeah, and I also usually use something round. So I will do my little, like even these placemats I use a lot, which seems stupid, but to me it's got the symbolism
and shapes
of
are also very sacred. So
yes, and I use a lot of things that are circular, and then I do my little circular dish, whatever. So today I was feeling drawn to very earthy colors and feelings. So I have citrine tower, carnelian, tiger's eye, aragonite, which this is my top 3. I don't know
your
why.
Your go-to stone.
I love
Aragonite's cool. It has a lot of energy. It has a lot of, it packs a lot of energy.
And it like represents Mother Earth.
Yes.
So
it
that's
is a very
what I really like.
earthy, grounding stone.
And calcite. I have a piece of honey calcite that I like. So I don't know. I sort of liked how they all went together. Then I would sort of just get myself in the game, and if
I'm okay with it.
Donna's like,
I'm okay.
It's gonna burn
I'm
the
okay.
house.
Chris
so
isn't here. It's okay.
No, it's fine. So I also have some rosemary, and I try to use homegrown herbs. It feels a lot more not to say that if you're in an area where you can't, you can get them dried at a lot of metaphysical shops, or you can get them online. Like Mountain Rose Apothecary would be a good online source for stuff like that.
Just make sure you're not getting like them at, like some grocery stores and things sell them, and I don't know if they're treated or not. Like in the floral department, they could be treated. And you don't want to be, smoking that and inhaling
if
that.
they're food grade, fine. But I would not want to
not from a typical floral department, though.
No, that's a bad idea. So then I sometimes do these rituals alone, but then oftentimes even my kids will participate and my husband, and then we'll just take a minute and we write our notes, and it's sort of what we want to manifest in the next. Donna was saying 90 days for this, which I really like that idea for a 90-day cycle here.
Yeah.
Usually I do these on the full moon, and it's for like the next 30 days of like a plan setting. Then everybody takes a couple minutes. No one reads anybody else's. It's very like private.
Yep. Totally agree.
And then when you're feeling ready to go, and I'm gonna do a small one since we're inside, so that we don't burn.
It's okay. We don't need a bonfire. Right? No.
So at that,
I do most of my burning stuff outside on the porch.
Yes. So when you're feeling like you're ready to let it go, if you're working inside, you do want to open your windows or doors so that you can get movement of air, so that anything that you need to let go can be released back out.
Yes.
So then at some point you would just like, I feel ready, and then light it. And at the end of that, that's going to go up here in flames, which you'll probably be able to see here in a second. Look, Donna's getting scared. She's like, oh my God, look, she's touching it so much. I got my teapot.
Got my teapot ready.
I think the briquettes only just fully lit. Okay, so then when this all turns to ash, then I always swish it and return to the earth, and I have a place out back that I...
And I like that. You said that a couple months ago in one of our sessions here. I love that idea of having a sacred space to actually put... I've used lots of different places, but I love that. I love that idea. It feels...
there's also this part of me that's like, in 100 years, when somebody comes here and digs up my property, they're going to be like, what was this bitch doing?
My bitch was a witch.
She was so weird. Yeah, I was.
But it's okay.
It's okay.
It's totally okay.
So anyway, at that point then, this would theoretically, it's not going to catch on fire, and I'm actually okay with that since we're inside. But so that's really what I would do. Just swish it, return to the earth, use my water elemental at that point, and then that's it.
And there's no, specific. When you get to the point, when you get to the point where you've set everything up and you're putting your intention in, and there's no specific time that you have to spend on it, and especially in the beginning, it's very hard, I think, and it's been so long since it was the very beginning, but I remember kind of struggling with that, with, you know, am I doing this right? Am I doing this the right length of time? If it don't get all hung up in that shit. That's not what it's about.
It will change every time,
yes.
too. Like, sometimes you can do the same rituals, but sometimes you kind of speed right through it because you're...
Yeah, you could be in a time crunch, you know, your kids are wanting dinner or whatever, and, you know, there's lots of different things, and some things you're going to feel like you need more time, more attention.
Isn't that what conventional prayer would be like, too?
Exactly.
Like, sometimes a conventional prayer, like, if you're doing that, you would sometimes be able to just knock it right out, or...
I always tell people that's, you know, that's when they, oh my God, she does spells and rituals. Okay, you do prayer. It's the same kind of thing. You know, when people blow out a candle and make a wish at a birthday party, sorry, but that's spells and rituals. That's the same kind of thing.
You know what's my favorite thing that people get on is like, oh, well, we don't like, you know, this and this and that, but we're going to take the bones out of your skull and put them under a pillow and have the fairy come and get them.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody's fine with that.
Yes, we're good with that, but it's not a spell, it's not a ritual. It's just a fictional.
It's definitely not fae.
Okay, that's fine, but where did it come from? Let's do a little research on that. So, yeah, but that's it. There's no specific time frame, and don't get all hung up in that crap. It's you're making it too hard. It's just intention and
the more you can do of it yourself, the higher the manifestation power is. Like as the homegrown herbs, that sort of thing.
Exactly.
It just makes it a little more.
Yeah. And I always like tell people too. So when you say, people say a prayer, you know, in church or out of church or whatever, when they say a prayer, you're believing. You are absolutely 100% believing that that's going to happen because you're believing that I'm praying to God or whoever you pray to, that it's going to happen, and you believe that. Yeah. So what we believe is we're just believing in our own power and our own power and ability to manifest. It's the same thing versus handing it over to somebody else. Yes, exactly. I also I should have put that first too. I like a lot of incense. I love, you know.
This is that new one that I want you to get.
Oh, I do want to smell that.
Yeah, I'm gonna light it now because I'll forget.
What was that one?
It's called Into the Night.
We both use Maroma incense, which is it is
very
all natural and no chemical synthetic fragrances or anything, because again, you just don't want to inhale that shit. No. We both have asthma, and her husband has asthma.
And we burn a lot of incense too, so you want to be careful about what you're burning, because like if you're doing this regularly over a lifetime, you want to be careful about what you're burning.
Exactly.
Anyway, this is the Into the Night. It's like jasmine.
I can smell it. I like it. I do like it. It's like jasmine though. Yeah. Because sometimes jasmine
can
be a little
very sickening.
Jasmine oil can be a little bit. No, I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I'd never seen that one. I saw it in like a little shop in Gettysburg the other day. I was like, oh, I'm trying that.
Oh yeah, I like it. I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I'll have to do my.
Like Donna needs to know about this.
Yeah, when I do my order, I'll have to add.
I need my incense lady to get on this.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
Anyway. Okay, well, I think, I'm sure I had to burn my house again.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Why don't you nestle that dirt down in front of that so your ashes aren't falling on your thing? Your fire.
Little Donna's getting scared, everybody. She's getting scared.
I'm going to have to put your,
I like to live
your table runner out.
I like to live on the edge, Donna.
It's okay. You can do that.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that's probably it for today, right?
We're good. Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us for the solstice.
Yep. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.